Hi everybody, we are going to be learning about finding sides when you're given a scale factor. So I wanted to give you a quick lesson before we do the worksheet for today. So if I have two triangles, one is a small triangle and one's a larger triangle. That means I'm going from the small to the large, and my scale factor says I have 1 to 3, which means every 1 in my small triangle is equal to 3 in my large triangle. The scale factor appears written as a ratio. Remember, we write it with the colon. I'm going to change it so I can solve for my missing values. Okay, I'm going to change it to a fraction because I'm eventually going to figure out what the proportion is. I'm going to write it as a proportion. So 1/3. Remember, the 1 corresponds with the triangle A. So if I'm trying to find, let's start with the 4 and the Y. I have to look at matching sides. This is the bottom side here and the bottom side here. So 4 and Y go together. My proportion is going to look like 1/3 is equal to 4 over Y. The 1 matches the 4, the 3 matches the Y. Okay, I'm going from 1 here to 3 here. So 1 with the 4, 3 with the Y. Now I solve this like a regular proportion using the butterfly method. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then I divide by what's left over. So 12 divided by 1 equals 12, which means Y equals 12. Okay, now let's try to figure out what X equals. Remember, I start with my scale factor written as a fraction, and I turn it into a proportion. The X belongs with the 1, so X goes on top, and the corresponding side measures 18. So that is my proportion. Now I can solve for X. I cross multiply the two numbers that I know are there. 1 times 18 is 18. And then I divide by what's left over. 18 divided by 3 equals 6. Therefore, X equals 6. Okay? I can do the same thing with these rectangles, but now I'm going from a bigger rectangle down to a smaller rectangle. My scale factor is 2 to 1, so I'm starting with the 2, the bigger one this time, going down to the 1. Okay, and I'm trying to figure out what X and Y, that Y belongs on the B triangle, rectangle. I'm trying to figure out what X and Y are equal to. So if I start with 16 and Y, these are corresponding sides, which means they can go together. Okay, I have to write my scale factor down as a fraction so I can use it in my proportion. And then I can fill in my corresponding numbers. So the 2 is the bigger one. So 2 goes with 16. 2 has to line up with 16. Over, the 1 is the smaller, which is using Y here. 16 times 1 is 16. And then I divide by 2 because that's left over. 16 divided by 2 is 8, so Y equals 8. Okay, this side equals 8. Then I can figure out what X equals. Remember, scale factor goes first. They're always going to give you, for these examples, give you the scale factor. So change it to a fraction. 2 over 1 equals, and then I'm filling in the proportion. So the 2, the bigger one, is belonging with the X over the smaller one, which is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Divided by what's left over is 1. 6 divided by 1 is 6. So X equals 6 in the rectangles. Play this video multiple times if you need to. Email me and ask questions if you need to. Fill out the worksheet. There's 6 problems. You're figuring out missing sides and missing lengths. If you have any questions, let me know, and good luck.